top stories, 19 nationals awarded for their service to the nation. Connery shooting under investigation and marijuana-related bills go before National Assembly. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Boom! Join in the experience with Courts Ready Cash for the ZIZ Music Festival with a loan of $3,000 or more and pay nothing for 60 days. Plus, you could be eligible for a reduced interest rate. Don't miss out. Enjoy flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. That is it. Apply now. Visit shopcoats.com or call 466-1640 or 662-9425. Get your full ZIZ Music Festival experience with Courts Ready Cash. We are ready whenever you are. Conditions apply.
In cricket, there are a few essentials: a bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Berridge. 19 persons have received national awards for their service to the nation during an investiture ceremony at Government House on Tuesday. More in this report.
The honors for the Companion of the Star of Merit and the Medal of Honor were presented to each person or a representative by Governor General Dame Marcella Liburd, GCMG JP, in the presence of government officials, family, friends, and well-wishers. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, originally announced the names on National Heroes Day in 2022. Addressing the ceremony on Tuesday, Prime Minister Drew spoke to the notable diversity of the group of men and women being honored.
I can clearly say that each of you would have had an impact on my life, and I can only imagine the lives that you would have touched in St. Kitts and Nevis. I can almost give a story about each of you, and that says a lot. It means that you have contributed, and you have contributed significantly. I recognize also that the diversity among the group is notable. Gender, age, area of specialization, area of origin in St. Kitts and Nevis, varying physical abilities. I'm sure there are more differences, maybe religion, maybe political. But what runs through the common themes that run through all of you are the themes of selflessness, service to others and country, willing to sacrifice for the greater good. And this tells us a story that it does not matter any difference that you might have, that your contribution is needed for nation building.
He encouraged the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to contribute to nation building in a significant way.
Whatever little we give, even if we think it's not significant, it might be having a tremendous impact. And with that, I encourage all of us to join the army of those who are contributing to nation building and upliftment. For no one man nor any one woman can do this by him or herself. All of us are needed.
The National Awards for the Companion of the Star of Merit 2022 was awarded to Eileen Gray for Education, Culture and Sports, Dennis Richards for Education, Arts and Culture, Lorraine Brown for her contributions in education, Dr. Lincoln Carty for his contributions in education, Sylvester Charles was honored for his contribution in education, music, sports and volunteerism, and Violet Jones Monlody for her contributions in education. Maxwell Bass Sr. for music and security services, Nathan Esdale for education and religion, Waylon Vaughn for his contributions in education, Shirley Kelly for nursing education, Lana Ava Henry for culture and the arts, whose medal was received by her brother. Pastor Lincoln Connor was awarded for his contributions to nation building and youth development, Teacher Elsie Mills for education and religion, and Clement Juni Liebert for broadcasting. Posthumously, Lloyd Lazar was honored for contributions in education and sports. This was received by his wife and daughter. For contributions in art and music, Kenrick Georges was also honored posthumously, the award received by his granddaughter. Medals of honor were awarded to Mabel Morton for community service and entrepreneurship, Clyde Richardson for his contributions to music and the arts, and James Mickey Frederick for performing arts and culture. The honorees were awarded in keeping with the National Honors Act No. 19 of 96. The National Honors Act provides for the Star of Merit, the Medal of Honor, and the Order of National Hero to be awarded to any citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis who renders distinguished and outstanding service to the nation. Reporting for ZIZ News, I'm Carla Barrage.
The police are investigating a shooting incident that occurred in Connery on Monday night. According to a police statement, the incident occurred between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. The police say Hans Lawrence of Connery was entering his yard when several shots were fired at him. He escaped into his home without sustaining any injury. The crime scene unit processed the area and recovered 12 spent bullet shells and 2 warhead bullets. These and other pieces of evidence were taken into police custody. An investigation into the incident is ongoing. Members of Parliament met at National Assembly on Tuesday to continue the passage of 4 marijuana-related bills and amendments into law. The Prime Minister, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, moved the second reading of the bills entitled Smoking Designated Areas Bill 2023 and Amendment to the Drugs Prevention and Abatement of the Misuse and Abuse of Drugs Bill. The Smoking Designated Areas Bill designates certain specified public spaces as smoking areas, forbids smoking outside of those areas, and provides protection from the exposure to certain types of smoke. During his presentation, Prime Minister Drew addressed concerns that this bill would encourage smokers among the populace.
I want to stress to persons, really, because some people might be concerned with respect to designating an area and if that would increase smoking. I think I needed to go back to that. It has not been shown that that may be the case. What this might actually do is that those who partake in smoking might not then go into a crowd and smoke and might go to an area.
Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley also moved the second reading of the Rastafari Rights Recognition Bill and Freedom of Conscience Cannabis Bill. The Freedom of Conscience Cannabis Bill is a bill to facilitate the personal cultivation by adults of cannabis for private use in a secured area within a private residence and the personal possession and use of cannabis in certain public places within designated smoking areas for one's personal enjoyment. A new area of enjoyment at the St. Kitts Music Festival for those who use cannabis has been approved by law. Here's this report from Mervan Thompson.
The highlight for some at the 25th edition of the St. Kitts Music Festival will be the high-rise mound, an area designated for persons who take part in recreational cannabis or tobacco use. A section at the Warner Park Cricket and Football Stadium, colloquially known as the Mound, had to be permitted through legislation. That was passed in the National Assembly on Tuesday. The new addition for this year's Music Fest, according to the government, stems from the need to have designated areas for inclusivity, taking into consideration that it is done all over the world at festivals such as the Colorado Caveman Music Festival, the Canadian Tulip Festival and the Summer Solstice, and the Smok Fest in Denmark. In a presentation to move the second reading of the bill in the National Assembly, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew elucidated on the need for the bill.
The question is whether the laws you have in place are laws that are based on protecting people's constitutional rights. And further to that, Madam Speaker, the great moral law, as my Rastafarian friend from Victoria Road, the crossing guard, would say, Dr. Drew, all we need is manners and respect. And can we respect others who are from a different community, might have a different orientation, but it is not for us to preach to them and tell them what they should do and should not do. We have to create the environment to make sure that their rights are respected and protected. And at the same time that we do that, we also respect other people's rights and their rights under the Constitution as well.
Effects to health have not been left out. This was mentioned by the Prime Minister and opposition member for Nevis 10, Honorable Eric Evelyn, who also supported the new law. FestivalPro.com suggests that smoking bans are in place because governments, quote, want to restrict smoking in public. They want to encourage people to quit for health reasons, but the primary reason is to prevent the presence of second-hand smoke that can affect people working in the entertainment venues, end quote. In a music festival press conference on Monday, Minister of Tourism, Honorable Marsha Henderson, spoke to the quantity that would be prescribed by law for the music festival.
No scissors, they will be taken from you, so it's easier to come with pre-rolled. In terms of numbers now, it amounts to the most 4 rolls. In terms of cigarettes, there's no limit on cigarettes. Similarly for vape pens, there are no limits on the vape pens. The issue is walking with the oils.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Adolph Adams gave a stern warning against use outside of the designated area.
This is the first time we are having a designated area for smoking, and I want you to designate your smoking to that area. Smoking beyond that area, we will be dealing with that very, very severely, because we have other persons who will be at the venue. This is not about just smokers. Everybody comes to the venue for an enjoyment or for a good experience. And if you come to the venue and you smoke beyond those areas or the smoking area, you will be extracted, or you can be arrested as well for obstruction, based on your persistence once police speak to you. All right? So I want you to take this very, very, very seriously.
The festival is scheduled to begin at 7 p.m. nightly from Thursday to Saturday, barring any inclement weather that may be caused by Tropical Storm Brett. That is expected to be in the vicinity of the Leeward Islands on Thursday. For ZIZ News, I'm Mervan Thompson.
After the break, Minister Duggins expresses support for Rastafari Rights Recognition Bill, and we have an update on Tropical Storm Brett. Stay with us.
I wonder if Auntie will be able to figure out this riddle. Let's see. Auntie, I have a riddle for you.
Let's hear it.
Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Huh? Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Come on, Auntie, you should know this.
I really can't think what the answer could be.
It's SL Housewords, duh.
How do you know this?
Because Mom shops there all the time.
Come here, you little nosy prince.
Riddle that cashback. It's that time of the year. Cashback season is here. Get cashback coupons for free groceries with every hire purchase at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Plus, a chance to win free groceries for a year.
There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit or black cards can do.
Mimi, what's that song?
It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
50,000?
50,000?
$50,000? Win big with TDC! Win up to $50,000 cash in the TDC Mega Rewards Mega Raffle! To enter, you must be a Mega Rewards member or sign up to TDC Mega Rewards Loyalty Program. Shop at our TDC retail stores or online at shoptdcgroup.com to receive one entry for every $250 spent. Draws take place from July to November. Win $10,000 every month with your entry rolled over so you can win, and win even more.
Yes, this is 50.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. The parliamentary representative for constituency number 4, Honorable Samuel Duggins, has spoken out in support of the Rastafari Rights Recognition Bill, which was read for a second time before National Assembly on Tuesday. Minister Duggins said the move to acknowledge and protect the rights of Rastafarians should have been done a long time ago.
Everyone has a right to freedom of thought, freedom of conscience, freedom of religion. And for too long, Rastafarian community has not been afforded that right. For far too long, they have not been afforded that right. And this bill today helps to move that vein all in the right direction.
He described the bill as significant as Rastafarians have been discriminated against for practicing their own religion.
They couldn't get certain jobs just for them practicing their religious right to grow their natural hair in its most natural state. Children couldn't go to school because they wanted to practice their religion. Madam Speaker, here today we are making a conscious effort to put into our legislation and clearly state in the passage of this bill that Rastafarians are as equal as any one of us here.
The Rastafari Rights Recognition Bill is a bill to provide for the process of registration of Rastafari groups, recognition of various rights related to the use of cannabis by registered Rastafari groups, licensing for the freedom of conscience possession and use of cannabis in certain public places, and for other related matters. The St. Kitts Meteorological Office continues to monitor the movements of Tropical Storm Brett. According to a 5 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center, Brett is forecast to approach the Lesser Antilles through Thursday morning and then move across the islands Thursday afternoon and night as a tropical storm, bringing a risk of flooding from heavy rainfall, strong winds and dangerous waves along the coast. The NHC says given the uncertainty in the track and intensity forecast, it is too early to specify the location and magnitude of where Brett's associated hazards could occur. A tropical storm watch has been issued for Barbados, and additional watches are likely for other islands within the Lesser Antilles on Tuesday night. In an 11 a.m. advisory on Tuesday, Tropical Storm Brett was approximately 1,100 miles southeast of the Leeward Islands and continues to move towards the west near 21 miles per hour. At 5 p.m., Brett was located about 835 miles east of the Windward Islands. Maximum sustained winds are 45 miles per hour. Brett is moving west at 18 miles per hour. The Met Office also said that a tropical wave will move across the area overnight and increase the chance of showers. Additionally, a surge of Saharan dust is moving towards the islands. The Department of Disability Services is hosting stakeholder consultations on the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities this week. The sessions are being held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the National ICT Center on Tuesday 20th and Wednesday 21st June. Tuesday's session was attended by representatives from the organizations of persons with disabilities, civil society, the private sector, and differently abled individuals. The purpose of the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities is to promote, protect, and ensure the full and equal enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms by all persons with disabilities, and to promote respect for their inherent dignity. During a ceremony held on Friday evening, St. Kitts and Nevis became the most recent member state to launch the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States (OECS) Commission's Opportunities to Advance and Support Youth for Success (OASIS) project. The OASIS project aims to reduce crime and violence rates among young people across the Eastern Caribbean with a focus on strengthening youth justice systems. It supports strengthening existing programs and investing in new ones to provide skills development, psychosocial support, and family interventions for youth in conflict with the law through collaborations with government and non-government partners, civil society organizations, and the private sector. Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew delivered the featured address at the ceremony and expressed enthusiasm and optimism of the transformative journey dedicated to empowering our youth.
I think that programs like these, OASIS, is exactly the type of program that we need, so that when we get our young people who are getting in trouble with the law at young ages, that we can step in early and get them back on the straight and narrow and reintegrate them to become, of course, uplifting citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis.
The Prime Minister highlighted that the project's objective is to provide young people with the tools they need to overcome obstacles they face regularly, grasp opportunities, and prosper in a constantly changing world. He further outlined the challenges the Federation and the Caribbean region as a whole encounter with the issue of crime and violence and the approach being taken to combat the scourge.
But as the baddest man on the block, boy, she could Busey. Busey not gonna rule. Think about the things that we say that we have normalized, and we really think that these things are normal, and they are not normal. And so you grow up in an environment like that, and those who are most vulnerable take that type of attitude to the extreme. And that is partly why we are seeing this type of issue within the sub-region. But there's hope, tremendous hope, because all studies have shown that violence is a learned behavior. And what you learn, you can unlearn.
Prime Minister Drew also expressed gratitude to the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, for their continued tangible support for one of the region's major challenges, crime and violence, with a focus on young people. Coming up in regional news, investigation underway after plane door opens mid-flight in Brazil. The details when we come back.
This is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hostels Billing Center for the month of June. 6,000 watt gas generator was $48.1909. Now get it for $36.14.32. 6-gallon air compressor was $12.32.02. Now just $9.24.02. 6-foot portable table, that was $6.11.35. Now $5.19.84. 2-burner gas grill was $11.48.61. Now just $9.76.32. Intex Easy Set pool set was $5.72.94. Get it now for $4.87. Seasons Aqua Coat Clear Finish was $1.80.22. Now $1.53.19. Super Handy Andy deals at Hosford's Building Center for the month of June, making home improvement easy.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. Investigations are underway after a plane door opened mid-flight in Brazil. Footage shows band members for Brazilian singer Thierry bracing themselves in the cabin when their plane door opened around 20 minutes after taking off from the São Luís airport.
This morning, an urgent investigation into why the door of a plane carrying 12 Brazilian band members burst open mid-air. A harrowing scare in the air for members of the band for Brazilian singer Thierry when their Bandeirante EMB 110 plane door opened.
You do not want to have a door open in flight, no matter what altitude you're at or what kind of airplane you're in. This is very frightening.
Shocking footage shows the passengers bracing themselves in the cabin. The incident took place roughly 20 minutes after the band took off from their São Luís airport in Brazil. Passengers were initially startled by the loud sound of the door swinging open, but incredibly, the band members can be seen remaining calm.
I think we can point to the guys that you saw in the video and say they were doing exactly the right thing. They're strapped in their seat, they're staying there, they're not panicking, and that's exactly what we need.
It's unclear why the plane door unlatched mid-flight. However, our aviation expert tells us these planes are known to have some issues with the door latch systems.
The Embraer Bandeirante has been around for quite a while, and it's well known to have some weaknesses in that cargo door in terms of the latching mechanism. If just one of the latches doesn't seat properly, this can be the result.
Thankfully, the pilot was able to make an emergency landing back at the São Luís airport, and no injuries were reported for the 14 people on board.
And officials say that aircraft has been taken out of commission as they investigate what exactly went wrong.
On Tuesday, Pope Francis received the president of Cuba, Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermudez, at the Holy See. The Cuban president is touring several European countries, and he and the Pope addressed issues of the bilateral and international agenda. More in this Telesur report.
Tuesday, the Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermudez arrived at the Vatican City to meet Pope Francis as part of his tour of European countries. Miguel Díaz-Canel arrived at 10 a.m. local time at the Vatican headquarters to meet with the highest leader of the Catholic Church. Upon his arrival at the Vatican, Díaz-Canel was received by the head of the prefecture on the pontifical household, who is in charge of protocol, Monsignor Leonardo Sapienza. The meeting between Díaz-Canel and Francis will be held in the office adjacent to the Paul IV Hall, a venue for major Vatican events. Official statements affirm that the Pope's audience with Díaz-Canel is strictly private and is being held days after Francis was discharged after an abdominal hernia operation. As part of a tour of Europe from June the 20th to 24th, Díaz-Canel will meet with the Italian President Sergio Mattarella and with the Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni after his meeting with the Pope.
Coming up, Germany and China hold meeting amid tensions over trade. International news is next.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investment. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
50,000?
50,000?
$50,000? Win big with TDC! Win up to $50,000 cash in the TDC Mega Rewards Mega Raffle! To enter, you must be a Mega Rewards member or sign up to TDC Mega Rewards Loyalty Program. Shop at our TDC retail stores or online at shoptdcgroup.com to receive one entry for every $250 spent. Draws take place from July to November. Win $10,000 every month with your entry rolled over so you can win, and win even more.
Yes, this is 50.
Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz has received China's Premier Li with military honors in Berlin. Li, who is on his first foreign trip since taking office, was expected to discuss trade, climate change and the war in Ukraine with Scholz on Tuesday.
It was seen as a delicate balancing act German Chancellor Olaf Scholz had to perform during his meeting with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. Protect Germany's large business interests in China at a time of growing Western criticism and distrust towards its largest trading partner.
I've once again appealed to the Chinese government to use its influence on Russia in this war even more strongly. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council, China has a special responsibility. We should work together on this in the G20 as well. Therefore, it is important that China continues to not supply weapons to the aggressor, Russia.
Li did not openly respond to Germany's appeal. Under pressure to reassess Germany's interests in China, Scholz stressed that dialogue and partnership were more important than ever, especially in addressing global warming. Li called on both nations to strengthen ties.
As two influential powers in the world, China and Germany should work together more closely to make more contributions to world peace and development.
It was significant that Li chose Germany as the first stop on his first foreign tour, showing how important the relationship is for China.
While the Chinese premier spoke about two economic powerhouses working hand in hand and side by side, Germany's tone was slightly different. While decoupling economically from China is out of the question for Berlin, de-risking has become the key word.
To Scholz, it means not putting all his eggs in the China basket, but diversifying Germany's interests to other nations in Asia. Germany's dependency on Russian energy sources became painfully clear after the invasion of Ukraine.
I think one big issue certainly is the involvement of China in major parts of critical infrastructure. It's not just sort of new investments, but it's also existing investments. I mean, have we really gone through all of them and made them fireproof for possible escalation if things between the US and China go worse? I don't think so.
And so, Germany's balancing act with China continues, with the country's industries hoping to expand further in Asia's largest market amidst rising political tensions. Stab Vassen, Al Jazeera, Berlin.
Remote Irish islands are offering persons £80,000 to move there. The generous cash grants are being offered as a way of encouraging new residents to islands' offshore communities.
Would you move to a rural Irish island for €80,000? Sure, it sounds tempting enough, but there is a catch. Prospective residents need to purchase a property built before 1993 that's been vacant for a minimum of 2 years. The Minister for Rural and Community Development hopes the scheme will spur population growth.
What it's going to mean for the islander is we want to see more people working, living and raising a family on the islands. We want to see more people coming back home to the islands.
Limited employment opportunities and poor access to public and social services have inhibited population growth across Ireland's rural communities.
When we did see that during the lockdown, people did return. So I think more housing, if we can get more people returning, it'll help the schools, it'll help the economy.
The government is also hoping the scheme will take the edge off the Emerald Isles housing crisis.
Up next in sports, countdown to kick-off Sugar Boys versus French Guiana, and French police raid Paris 2024 Olympics Organizing Committee headquarters. Stay with us.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investments. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
First up in sports, the Hours are taking away to the biggest match in St. Kitts and Nevis football against French Guiana tonight at 9 p.m. Some of the players share their feelings on how important this is for the Federation. St. Kitts and Nevis will face French Guiana to create history to qualify for the CONCACAF Gold Cup for the very first time. We hear more in this report.
The moment has arrived. The Sugar Boys will tonight play the biggest match in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis football at 9 p.m. when they face French Guiana in order to qualify for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. If the Sugar Boys win, it will be the first time St. Kitts and Nevis will qualify for the prestigious tournament, which will be played in the U.S. The match tonight will be at the DRV PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, starting at 9 p.m. The players are up and rearing to go, and some of them have a message for the fans. Gerard Williams, one of the long-standing players with the national team, talked about the importance of the moment and what qualifying for the Gold Cup would mean for him.
Well, this one really special to me because I've been trying all the years to actually get in the Gold Cup, and I feel if I get to really achieve this, it will be one of my biggest accomplishments in international football.
It's not just the fans at home that will be watching. When St. Kitts and Nevis played Curaçao on Friday, there were St. Kitts and Nevis fans in the stadium cheering them on. Another player, Raheem Summersall, spoke of the importance of the fans at home and abroad supporting the team to the very end.
That's always a good thing, you know, to know you have that support, the 12th man, whether it's in the stands or on TV, so that's always a big thing. You know, fans are important, but to have that support is good. I know for myself, it motivates me a lot because you look over and you see your colors, and it's always a special feeling just knowing, like, you know, somebody else is there to cheer you on other than your coaches and things. So
St. Kitts and Nevis has a history with French Guiana, having first played them in the Caribbean Cup in 2014, defeating them 2-1. In 2016, the Sugar Boys lost to them 1-0, also in the Caribbean Cup, and drew 2-2 in 2019 in the CONCACAF Nations League. Her last encounter was a 3-1 loss in 2019 in the CONCACAF Nations League that resulted in relegation to League C of the Nations League. Now, the Sugar Boys have an opportunity to right the wrongs of that match with a victory that will clinch a historic qualification in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Watch the match tonight at 9 p.m. at a watch party at Vives Beach Bar in Frigate Bay, or on ESPN2, Channel 77 The Cable, and Fox Sports Extra.
When Paris won the bid to host next year's Olympics, organizers insisted on clean games. Since this morning, financial police are combing through files at the committee's headquarters, as well as those of contractors suspected in corruption probes, one which dates back to 2017. France 24's Andrew Hilaire tells us more.
With only a year to go until the opening ceremony, a blow to the image of Paris 2024. Police raided the headquarters of the organising committee known as COJO in Saint-Denis, a Paris suburb. Officers also raided the offices of Solideo, the body in charge of Olympics construction sites. Prosecutors say the raids are linked to two ongoing investigations into the awarding of public contracts. The first was launched back in 2017 and the second in 2022. Both are looking into allegations of favouritism, misuse of public funds and conflicts of interest. The International Olympic Committee said it had been informed by Paris 2024 organisers that they were cooperating fully with the authorities. Prosecutors took action after the French anti-corruption agency raised the alarm over deals signed off by the two groups. In two reports in 2021, it stressed the conflicts of interest that could tarnish the reputation of the Olympics. But the Olympics are no stranger to scandal. After Tokyo's 2020 Summer Games, an Olympics executive was arrested on suspicion of taking bribes so he can help companies become official sponsors of the event.
And that's it for sports. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investment. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
And we're wrapping up with a recap of the top stories. 19 nationals are wanted for their service to the nation. Cannery shooting under investigation, and marijuana-related bills go before National Assembly. And that's the end of the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage.